What's good, y'all? Tristan here, and today I'd like to share with you 10 things you must do when visiting Australia. I've been traveling around Australia for over a year, and I've gotten to see and do some incredible things, so here I am today to share with you. I'm really going to be focusing on things you must do when in Australia because there's a ton of videos out there that share, just like beautiful spots to visit, which is great, but all those videos have like the same 10 things. You know what, heck, just Here real quick, in these 20 seconds, here are the 10 spots in Australia I think are the most beautiful. We got the Great Ocean Road, Fraser Island, the Whitsundays, the Great Barrier Reef, Uluru, the Daintree Rainforest, any of the famous beaches around Sydney or the Gold Coast, Rottnest Island, any of the famous beautiful national parks like the Grampians, Springbrook, Glasshouse Mountains or Blue Mountains, and Byron Bay. Those are going to be the same things you see on pretty much any list. That is a great list with great places if you're going to be in Australia for a couple months. But the issue is, Australia is so spread out. If you're going to be there for under a month, you just can't be flying, driving, going all across Australia to see those places. So that's why this list is going to be much more helpful for you, because these are things that you can do and see pretty much anywhere in Australia or any of the main big busy places that you're probably going to be visiting. So number one, when you're in Australia, you must try their coffee. A bunch of places like to claim they have the best coffee. But I'm here to tell you that Australia truly has the best coffee. Everyone I know, people from America, Germany, England, Netherlands, Argentina, they all come to Australia and they all agree Australia coffee just hits different. Everyone loves it. I know people who don't even like coffee, they come to Australia and they like Australian coffee. You just have to try it, but I think you'll agree with me once you taste it. And number two, whenever you're in Australia, you need to go to one of their parks and have a barbie. Aussies love their barbies, and it's just a big thing there, light up the grill, cook some snacks, have some burgers, and just enjoy the beautiful weather, enjoy a nice day in the park. Australian parks are incredible. Overall, they are much nicer than parks in the States, and on top of that, they all have free gas and electric grills. These things are well maintained, they're clean. You can just go to any park, find a grill, light it up, throw some meat on there, and just cook it up. This is a true Aussie thing to do, and I hope you get to experience it while you're there. Number three, you gotta try a meat pie. These bad boys are an Australian staple. You can have them for breakfast, lunch, dinner, it doesn't matter. They're delicious, there's tons of different types of them. You can get them with different types of meat, you can get them with eggs, you can get them with meat and potatoes, you can get them with veggies. They have no limits on their meat pies, and they're freaking delicious, and you absolutely have to try one of these when you're in Australia. A little bonus one also while you're there, you gotta try their Tim Tams. This is a candy or chocolate I think I call it a candy. Some might say it's like a sweet cracker, but anyways, these things are absolutely delicious. They're native to Australia. You'll see them all over, and you just gotta get yourself some while you're in Australia. And number four, while you're in Australia, you gotta learn how to surf. Or if you already know how to surf, just go surf. There's waves of all sizes, tons of instructors. Australia is the perfect place to learn surfing, and most likely wherever you go, there'll be some waves. Number five, you got to go to a wildlife sanctuary or reserve or some sort of petting zoo, and I'll tell you why. I'm sure if you're going to Australia, you're going to want to see some kangaroos, some koalas, get some cool photos, that type of thing. And yes, you can absolutely see them in the wild. I saw koalas in the wild, I saw kangaroos, wallabies, echidnas, yes, I saw tons of them in the wild. But the koalas are most likely going to be really far away up in their trees, and the kangaroos are usually skittish and don't let you get too close. But if you want to get right up close to the animals, maybe pet one, get some good photos with it, then I recommend going to one of these places. They pretty much have that, some sort of one in every single city. Depending where in Australia you're at, there might be some animals there special to that location. Like for example, when I was in Tasmania, they had Tasmanian devils. But anyhow, it's just a great way to experience Australia's incredible wildlife, in addition to whatever you'll see further away in the wild. Number six, you must go and visit at least one of Australia's incredible islands. Not all of Australia's beauty is on the mainland. Matter of fact, a lot of it, a good portion of it, is offshore on the islands. Doesn't matter if you go to Fraser Island, Moreton Island, Rottnest Island, Phillip Island, the Whitsundays. There's also a bunch of great ones up near Cairns, but it doesn't matter. They're all so beautiful, and you at least have to see one, hopefully more when you're in Australia. Number seven, you gotta meet some locals, whether it's through a night out, going to a pub, maybe going to a sporting event. Have some sort of local experience. Maybe it could be going to a pub, get some Carlton Draft, VB. Those are some popular Australian beers. If you're feeling really crazy, go out, get yourself some Goon. Goon is just really cheap wine in a box that, if you want to get really drunk for cheap, lots of people drink. It's a very Australian thing. Depending on what time of year you're there, go see, or better yet, go in person to a footy game, like an AFL game or a rugby game, a cricket game, the Melbourne Cup, the Australian Open. Just have a good time. Australians love their sports. They love to get rowdy, so feel free to hop in there with them. Go see some Australians be rowdy. Now number eight, and this is one I'm sure you definitely didn't expect, but you have to have some sushi while you're in Australia. You could get it at a sit-down restaurant or at a sushi train place where you sit down and the sushi comes in a train, but I'd recommend get it on the go. Australia has a bunch of these grab-and-go sushi places where it's just sushi in a window. You just pick out what sushi you want, grab it, and it's still in the roll. You kind of eat it like a hot dog. But it's so delicious, it's so cheap, it's something that really surprised me. And even if you don't like fish, there are tons of alternatives. There's chicken sushi, and I've even seen beef sushi. The chicken sushi can be as basic as just a fried piece of chicken with rice, wrapped up with rice and maybe some sauce in it. Delicious, amazing, convenient. You gotta try it while you're in Australia. Now number nine is a bit location based, and that is you have to go to either Sydney, Brisbane, Gold Coast area while you're in Australia. And I'll tell you why that is. These two places to me feel like the most stereotypical Australian. I'm not just saying in the city center, but like in the city and the surrounding like hour drive region. I'm not saying these are the best two places in Australia, but if you're looking for a place where everything's close to the beach, there's tons to do there, really chill vibes, a lot of fun. Both the Brisbane Gold Coast area and the like Sydney Newcastle area are perfect for this. Now you definitely can't just go to these two places and say you've seen all of Australia, but at the same time, you also can't say you've seen Australia without seeing these two places. And the 10th thing you gotta do when visiting Australia is you gotta get out into the outback, or at least just into more rural Australia. It could be going to Uluru, it could be a road trip, it could be going to Western Australia, the Northern Territory. Doesn't matter what, just try getting outside of the cities at least once. Maybe hang out with some bogans, who knows. But there is one thing I know, and that is there are 10 things you must know before you visit Australia. So if you're planning a trip to Australia, you definitely wanna watch that before you go. Hope you found this video helpful. You'll definitely find that one helpful. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.